Good morning. Thank you so much for joining me here on Hichilema'S TV. I just want to speak about the matter. It's always important for us to speak about certain things as they happen because there's something that I have noticed and observed which we mustn't ignore. I know some of you people are UPND supporters. Some of us are not. We used to be sympathizers. But when I see a leader failing in so many things, I'll speak about it. It's important that we address these issues. Okay, it's very, very important. Thank you so much for joining me here on Hichilema'S TV. I'm Lilian Mutambo. As you're waiting for, more people to come in, let me just talk about this young lady. This young lady, her name was Dora Moono Nyambe, a philanthropist, a young lady who moved to a village called Mapapa in Mukushi, where she was looking after over 500 young children with whom, she had a close relationship with, and she had fostered them as a mother. The reason why Dora Moono Nyambe would adopt those children and started the school in the village instead of being in the city was because she saw the level of abuse, SA. When we say SA, SE, abuse. And she would use TikTok to showcase what they were doing, how they were living in the village. And I remember coming across Dora Moono Nyambe's page, and I came on social media to advocate if the government can recognize Dora. And Dora was ignored. Now, Dora was rewarded an award by the Zanaco Bank as a Z Woman of the Year. She won that award because Z Women is a good thing to win anyway. And for many years and months, and she did this work for more than 4 years. This is somebody who is working in an area where there's a councillor, where there's a district commissioner, there is a permanent secretary, and Dora was ignored. Now, President Hakainde Hichilema and his team, they don't understand empathy. They don't understand at what time to do certain things. They have been doing this and getting away with things because Zambian people don't complain about these things. There's an issue that is going on presently in Zambia, and it's very serious. Very, very serious. There's an audio that has leaked which puts the president himself in that audio. He is mentioned as the person who has sent Chabinga to go to South Africa to corrupt the judges over the repatriation of the body of Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu is dead. When he was alive, the government, presently UPND, refused to assist him with anything. They refused for him to travel in 2022, refused for him to travel in 2023. And at the time of his demise now, we have seen the efforts of President Hakainde Hichilema to bring the body back to Zambia. Now, when you listen to the audio of Chabinga, he exposes why he is sent to South Africa. Number one, he shares that a judge needs to eat. You need to corrupt a judge. Number two, he mentions that we need to look good to the world, that the president of Zambia, President Hakainde Hichilema, tried so hard to ensure that Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu was brought into Zambia. Now, for those of you who don't know Dora, there's a huge dispute about her demise. I have been sharing the issues surrounding her death. First of all, Dora had a pre-Christmas party with her friends, her colleagues. She was the boss. She was a teacher. And she had teachers she had hired from different parts, because the government cannot hire all the teachers. Even if they hire them, they don't offer them jobs. So at her school, Mapapa, which she made into a more like a private school, they had a party, pre-Christmas party. They were preparing for the Christmas party on Christmas Day. And Dora went to hospital and she died on arrival. There's a lot of, discrepancies along, when you listen to the story about her demise. I have followed this and have shared on my social media platforms. The first thing the family noticed when they went to Dora's school was that her bedroom was locked. Her friends, her so-called friends, refused to allow anybody, to enter the bedroom. Her friends refused, even her own mother. Now, in tradition, when a person dies, at least you want to have a cloth to remind you of that person. You want to enter the room to remind you of that person. Now, Dora's mother was not allowed to enter the room of Dora. The car keys were taken away. They were hidden away because she had a Hilux given to her by Mr. Beast. When you look back, Dora would come to social media using TikTok, advocate for these young people. And Mr. Beast, who is the highest YouTuber on YouTube from America, sent a team to put solar panels worth millions of kwacha. When such type of a person enters your country, you will know. You will know. Because these are big fish. Even the video itself on his YouTube channel is over 25 million views. It was on Facebook. Some of us shared. We were excited that Dora received such type of help and support. She was ignored by President Hakainde Hichilema'S government. Okay? She has been active in the 4 years when President Hakainde Hichilema was the president. So the team at her school, particularly her best friend, the first thing she did was to collect Dora's phone from one of the children by asking for the password. And Dora was communicating to big funders who had loads of money in the pot. I'm talking about more than $400,000. Now, the motive for Dora's death is unknown. She died on arrival. I don't think somebody who is sick can drive themselves to the clinic, looking at the fact that the villagers didn't like Dora Moono for being somebody who was advocating for early marriages. There's no way the district commissioner wouldn't have known that there was a Dora. There's no way any member of parliament would not know that there was a Dora. They knew about this lady, but they ignored her. Now, with all the corruption that goes on in Zambia, with what even Chavinga has said, I have stood by this. Something happened to Dora, and it was covered up. They tried to come up with a theory that Dora had fibroids. I don't think you can have fibroid pains and they arrive and you die. I don't think so. And this friend of Dora introduced a child to the mother of Dora to say, this is Dora's child. Okay? And the mother was shocked because she's never seen Dora pregnant. And she tried to tarnish the image of Dora to the mother. The mother is not allowed to enter the room. The family was left in one corner. And during the burial, this best friend was even at the hospital, at the clinic, where the postmortem was being done. A local clinic was doing the postmortem. Now, after she was buried by her friends, not the family. She was buried by her friends. Not even the family were there, because they left to say, as far as we're aware, we have never buried Dora. Before then, the friends came to me complaining, the family of Dora want to grab the car. They are just here for this and this. And they said, no. And they tried to send a message like Dora never got along with the family. Until I spoke to Dora's brother, who explained that Dora was actually under the care of the mother, was living with this brother, and the mother was working with Bazungus, white people, during her young age, and she was working as a missionary worker, helping them with orphans. That's where the passion came from, and she named the school Footprints of Hope because of her mother. So meaning Dora had a good relationship with the mother, but the friends, especially her best friend, wanted to create the narrative that Dora was not close to the family. The family, immediately they heard that Dora died, rushed to Mukushi, left everything. They tried to bring the body for them to bury in her home in Lusaka, because my papa was not her home, but it was decided that she is buried there in the village. The family complained bitterly that they were not treated as Dora's family. When you see the image of the bus, you see a lady there. That was Dora's best friend. Why isn't the family involved? Why is she doing these projects alone? Finally, the head teacher whom Dora trusted is now in charge of Dora's finances, in charge of donations. The first thing she did was to call Mr. Beast's team to report the family. That Dora's family are here and all they want is to take things from Dora. That's what she did. Okay? So, in honor of Dora, we saw Jito, who is President Hakainde Hichilema'S PA, advisor, travel to Mapapa with Pompey, the musician. They went there with foodstuffs and they said the president had bought a bus months back. The president had bought a bus. We shared, it was a good thing. It was a good gesture. Now, during this time, we have a serious audio with serious allegations. What does President Hakainde Hichilema'S team do? They want to clean up his image by bringing those children from Mukushi, using them to clean the image of President Hakainde Hichilema, using another dead person's story to show that he is kind and empathetic. Dora is dead. The question is, has President Hakainde Hichilema's team ever bothered to find out who Dora Moono Nyambe's family is? Have you ever sat down to check if they can do another autopsy of Dora? Did you understand the circumstances surrounding Dora's death? Dora Moono Nyambe's death and Dr. Edgar Chagwalungu's death have a lot of issues going on. With President Lungu, Hakainde Hichilema has no access. That's why he's angry that he has no access. But with Dora, he has access because the best friend to Dora is desperate for fame, desperate to look good. And yet, she has completely ignored the family of Dora Moono Nyambe. So since everybody is talking about the audio, it's news right now. How do we clean the image of the president? We have bought a bus, the president is donating, and you post it on social media like nothing serious ever happened. Do you know that audio is a confession which could lead Chabinga in prison if it was in the Western world? Which could lead to questioning of Madame Doreen to say, how far did you go with the discussion? But the UPND are acting as if nothing has happened. And they want to wash our faces with, the president is so kind. He has donated a bus. How much is the value of the bus? Because as far as I'm aware, President Hakainde Hichilema is the most rich person in Zambia. So you brought children all the way from Mukushi to Lusaka to give them this small bus. All the way to present at State House. The patterns are similar to Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson would always want to surround himself with children because he had a very tricky childhood. According to the late Michael Jackson, his mother was watching, his father would lash him. During this period, when we have lost 100 young people in Mufombwe, President Hakainde Hichilema, again with Jito, the same Jito, a young boy that is enjoying wealth and everything from a rich family, never struggled, doesn't even know what it means to campaign, but because he's related to Gary Nkombo, he is the president's advisor. Okay? With Jito, present a very emotional, sad story as to how President Hakainde Hichilema, he was heading cattle, so he was beaten up, he was told to look for the cow, in the midst of 100 lives in Mufombwe. He doesn't care. He's only caring about cleaning his image. How do we know this? Chabinga said it in the audio. Let us clean the image of His Excellency. So Jito Kayumba and his team have brought up this program, which was in Lusaka, where President Hakainde Hichilema was talking about his childhood, and everyone was, oh. But when you look at that, emotional upbringing, trauma, all the abuse he faced as a child, he's putting it on the Zambian people to feel like whatever he does, we should understand him. No, we're not going to understand you. As a leader, you should be empathetic, sympathetic to the people that put you in the position. It's not UPND that put President Hakainde Hichilema as a president. It's actually the Zambian people. The Zambian people who said we wanted change. And President Hakainde Hichilema has disappointed the Zambians. I am personally disappointed. Because do you know what would make Zambians to even say, okay, let's give him another chance? President Hakainde Hichilema has failed to say sorry for President Edgar Lungu's death. He has failed to say sorry over the 100 lives in Mufombwe. He has failed to be empathetic. But what he does is to clean his image. After that, emotional speech at the business event where business people went to meet about his childhood, use that opportunity to speak about his life, and people were, oh yeah, sorry. As he's speaking, Edgar Chagwa is in a fridge for almost 2 months. As he was speaking, he has taken Edgar Chagwa wife, Mama Esther, to court. And this is a person here, he knows how to make his followers emotional about he's a nice person. No, he's not. Because if President Hakainde Hichilema was a nice person, he wouldn't take Mama Esther to court in South Africa fighting for the body. And he uses people. He looks like, he's a clean person. He doesn't do these things. But he sent the Attorney General, Bakabesha, to sue the Lungu family, putting an injunction that his body should not be buried. He has no access to ECL's body. But he wants to still torment Edgar Chagwa in death. And that's the reason some of us decided to step away from the UPND, because they don't show no emotion and compassion. And for that, the Zambian people have decided to not vote for President Hakainde Hichilema. Not even rigging will work. Now, you can see minions, they'll comment, and zombies. It's fine. It's their right. They can comment. But does that constitute of the majority thought about President Hakainde Hichilema? No. The audio is very detailed. It actually puts Chawinga in a place where he explained that he was on a plane with other people who were traveling to South Africa to go and bury ECL. But obviously by then, there was already an injunction on that particular day. And he said, I met them on the plane, cadres, I ignored them, and I decided to, get a normal transport, because if I went on the embassy transport, they will know that the government has sent me here. That audio is also in the South African court today. And President Hakainde Hichilema is ignoring like there's nothing serious that is going on. So how do we clean up his image? By donating a bus to Dora, Moono, Nyambe, to the people of Mapapa village. It's a good gesture, but wrong timing. He's doing all these things to look good. But Zambians are not dull, they are smart. Dora Moono Nyambe died in December 2024. This is July. This bus is worth how much? 150,000 kwacha? 200,000? You could have donated this even in February, March, April. This is the right time to donate. So that people should see that I'm kind, I'm good. This is not working. And for the young people who died in Mufumbwe, who are actually UPND members, who went there to struggle to survive, to ensure that they can have something to feed, okay? President Hakainde Hichilema made a statement that the young people had weapons. He tried to weaponize the whole event as if the young people who went to look for food were criminals. And yet, if you check, there's lots of investors who are coming into Zambia to make money in our country using our minerals, whilst the Zambian people struggle. As if that's not enough. Before the donation of this bus, Bill 13 has come up for the land. He's gotten hold of the minerals, chased the young people from Black Mountain, Green Mountain, Mufumbwe, Senseli Mine, Mumbwa. Now, they want access to land. And we complain about these things. The diaspora will complain because President Hakainde Hichilema has put cyber laws which prevent Zambian people to speak. And that's why yesterday I said and I recommended, if you are in Zambia and you're against what's going on, lock your Facebook profiles. It's important you lock because the UPND government is very cruel. They are following people at their homes. They are threatening people, sending messages. You can't afford to lose your life. And even after my resignation, I received a phone call from very strong UPND members asking me to rethink my decision and to stand and be part of UPND. I said, I don't care. I'm not going to be part of this. I cannot be part of criminality. I cannot be part of a very wicked regime that is bad-hearted, that doesn't think of the welfare of the Zambian people. You've donated the bus, okay, to Dora, but when she was alive, you ignored her. Same as Dr. Edgar Chagwalungu. You opened the grave. Immediately he died. You hadn't even made a statement yet. You hadn't even addressed the nation. The grave was being dug. So, is President Hakainde Hichilema using the dead to look good? To clean his image? The answer is yes. He is using Dora, a young woman who struggled. No DC helped her. Nobody in that area helped her. And what she was doing is something any government like Malawi, there's a young lady I follow on social media from Malawi doing exactly the same thing as Dora, and the government has funded her. She has 4 rescue properties. A lady from Malawi. The government funds her. The government airs her projects on the national television of Malawi. Did ZNBC ever follow Dora? No. ZNBC has followed Dora in her death. Because the person who was good, who was kind, who was doing these things, Dora, is dead. ZNBC today wants to talk about Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu because the person who was good, who Zambians have shown love, is dead. So he wants to look good. I'm sorry. Poverty is actually a disease. It makes certain rich people use you to look good. That Mr. Beast project that they planted solar panels, it was never aired on ZNBC. Even the school itself, I know what I'm talking about. I had a conference meeting with Beast Philanthropy. There is more than $500,000 pot available for the children till they finish school. To pay salaries, there's even a lawyer who's involved. To pay salaries, to buy food, to make sure the children have the materials, what they need, and everything that's required at the school. They are not hungry. They are fine. And there was also a fundraiser for a bus, and they raised more than $110,000 for a bus. That's why they were able to give Dora a Hilux. So they are not suffering. But Jito Kayumba, as youthful as he is, as he wants to also keep a good image of the president, because that's what it's all about. That's what happens when you have kids being your advisor. A kid like Jito Kayumba will do things for social media. But advisors, elderly people like Wakavindela will tell you, Mwana, apa you go and ask for forgiveness. In Chifwema, we've never seen any of the ZNBC there. But at State Lodge, Belvedere, they were there to clean the image of the president. Some of you argue that the president's family was not there. They were there. So many of them from the village. Chiesa Lungu had not yet even traveled to South Africa. She was there. Even the gentleman did not even travel. Daliso, he did not even travel. He was in Zambia. There were people, Kunganda Kuriba Lungu. And President Hakainde Hichilema never bothered to go there. But he so really wants the body of ECL to preside over the funeral. You know why? To look good. He didn't love Edgar Lungu. These are the two political enemies we've seen who've taken it so far until death. It's been tit for tat. Apart from Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu's death, we have seen Madam Edith Nawakwi die. President Hakainde Hichilema didn't go to Edith Nawakwi's funeral. The person who went to represent the government was Madam Nalumango. Are you telling me that she wouldn't have represented the government during the state funeral of Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu? Of course she would. But President Hakainde Hichilema wants to show himself as he is in charge. He must attend. When it comes to funerals and family matters, funerals are very sacred. And this is a family affair, which you need to humble yourself if you want to be part of. But if the dead person says, I don't want you at my funeral, you don't go there. But you are bothered. You really want to be there at the funeral. You want everybody to see that, oh, he was a good person. And thank God for the family of ECL. They are learned, they are lawyers. And some of you people can say, oh, it's Makebi Zulu. No. Any lawyer follows the instructions of the family or the person they are representing. He can only advise what will happen if we do this and that. And the family right now, they are spending thousands of rands for the body of ECL in a fridge. Has the government that is so bothered about ECL paid a penny? No, they haven't. Because they don't give a shit. They don't care about ECL. But they want to look good. That is why when you look at the UPND supporters, majority of them were celebrating when he died. Because he, according to them, was a fierce competitor. The strongest person that they can, wrestle with in the 2026 elections. Right now, The UPND will brag about how there is no opposition. But they don't know that God is bigger. God will raise somebody who is going to run the affairs of the nation. We don't want a businessman, a person who is only concerned about the land of the people, who is concerned about minerals, who is concerned to look good to investors, to Azungos, and not the Zambian people. President Hakainde Hichilema doesn't care about the welfare of the Zambian people. If he did, we wouldn't be having in Southern Province electricity 24 hours, and in Lusaka, the hub of business, the main capital, with 2 hours electricity between 24, 23, 01. What time are business hours? And you'll be doing kwenyu. So him giving a bus to Dora, kwenyu. That's what it's all about with President Hakainde and his team. They don't care about the emotions of Zambian people. Emotions are high. Some people are still looking for their family members who went to Mfumbwe. One person appeared on our TikTok live and he said, I was working with another guy. I came back with one. The other one, I don't know. They must be buried there. Who ordered for those young people who were mining in Mfumbwe to be gunned down? Who is the commander-in-chief? So a commander-in-chief can be bad-hearted to the Zambians who are trying to look for food, but can be kind-hearted to children? Nah. This is all for political scores. This is how the UPND operate. Zambians, open your eyes, open your mind. Do not be fooled. Look here, if they give you meat fole, collect it. If they give you any titengas, collect. We are doing what you call watermelon. Enjoy, eat, but don't vote for UPND. Another 5 years with UPND will be hell on earth. Will be hell on earth. If there were good things that were being done, and there was a form of empathy, to be honest, I would have said, well done. But for this, President Hakainde Hichilema and the team are using Dora, a dead person, to look good. And I refuse to accept that this is an act of kindness. Because if truly you want to be kind, you would have found out what killed Dora. Bring her body to Lusaka. Let's do a post-mortem. That's why many of us know that Dora was murdered. Because what she was doing there will not help some people who are into rituals. Okay? Some people enjoy doing certain things. It's part of the rituals. And Dora stopped people from doing that. She was taking parents to court, uncles to court, Vikarenga to court, and winning court cases. And she stated several times on her TikTok that her life was in danger. Nobody from the government approached Dora. So you have to read in between the lines here. If truly this government means well, why didn't they help Dora? Why are they now being kind to Dora now in her demise? Dora will never get to know that she was appreciated by the president in her demise. Dora will never get to see that there was even a bus gesture that came from the president. Of course, her friend, the head teacher, is excited because, you have an opportunity like this. Let's go. And they'll use you. These are politicians. They use you to clean their image. Chabinga's audio is a very serious audio. And the UPND government has taken it like it's nothing. First, they came up that it's AI, of which no doubt person can conclude that it's AI. We ask questions, can AI speak Bemba? We have people even trying to justify that you can put in language, blah, blah, blah. Come on, why are you being silly? And then we have this lady who's given a job by government that is now saying, why is Chabinga trying to implicate the president? Chabinga stated that he received 12 missed calls from the boss. 30 missed calls from Friday. Friday, an OP official who is the DG, a very respectable figure, is being used as a chola boy. You know why? Because the current government has created a parallel structure So for him, they're making him do the dirty work so that he should even lose his reputation. How does somebody who was a former diplomat to DRC, who was an OP, who's worked his way up, be used to help Chabinga to go and clean the image of the president? You mean the president has no chola boys? You mean he can't use Jito? No, he will use this man so that Friday should look like he's working, but he has a parallel structure. President Hakainde Hichilema has brought division in our country. That's why people from his region, they call their place Dallas City, whatever, Lions Den, because in their own, electricity is 24 hours. He has done good things for his area, Southern. And those are just 13% of the population of voters. And Zambia has the majority of voters in other areas. They are not blind. They have seen what is going on. And that's why the UPND are aware that they're going to lose. And that's why they're trying to bring in the digital voting, so they should steal. I'm in a first world country, United Kingdom. And Zambia is a former colony of Britain. And in the British region, we vote paper. You go physically and vote. No regalia, no chitenge, nothing. Now, yesterday we had a very powerful ceremony, Umutomboko. The president was not there, but he wants to preside over ECL's funeral. He sent a representative, Mike Imposha, the MP of Monali, to go and represent him. What's stopping him from having a representative to go and see if truly the body of ECL has been buried in South Africa, or even when we have a state funeral in Zambia? He doesn't want anybody else but him over Lungu. Why? Life is spiritual. There is something spiritual happening with the issues surrounding the demise of Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. That's why you see the level of desperation. We all talked about how desperate this government was. But his people, his cadres, his minions were mocking us to say, you guys are just speaking, you're just jealous. The president, hey, he's a former president, he has to be buried. They even come up with all these theories because they don't know that they are being used. If you check, 99% of the people who support HH are poor. Poorest. No rich person, no business person will support HH. If Parmalat can close in Zambia during his reign, a company of decades that has given people jobs, pension, what about people who are just in Zambia doing tailoring and what? You think they are surviving how? Those are the people. Anyway, if you go. They are living in houses with no ceiling. And they'll be saying bad till 2090. In which house? In your village. Not in Lusaka. Not in the Kapabel, not in Zambia. So, the bus was contributed because it's easy to have access to Dora's desperate friend. Okay, it's easy to have access to her. But it's not easy to have access to the body of ECL. I repeat, the death of Edgar Chagwa Lungu was God's plan. So that the man that we are looking as a good person, he has been pretending all along, he has managed to pretend, he can be exposed using careless means. We were not there when Madame Dora, the Doreen Mwamba, and the Chabinga were recording themselves and having a conversation. The whole Zambia was not there. But the audio has landed on Hichilema'S TV page, different pages, on WhatsApp, on YouTube, all over it is viral. Why? There is power in prayer. God will expose the evil and plans of people before it happens. If God wants to show you who those people are, he will expose. How did Doreen Mwamba become careless for the audio to land to the whole Zambia. Even a Zambian, Ashikulu in Mansa, has listened to this audio. And they are asking themselves questions. Chishi chalenga ukutila bakateka bakoselepo pa chitumbi chakwa Edgar. Umuntu atamwale mfwana nankwe. Why are you so bothered now? So, even though the body will not come to Zambia, the whole idea around Chavinga's audio is that the president needed to look like he had intentions of bringing the body, and he is kind-hearted. He's got a good heart. It's just for sure. He doesn't mean it. That's what Chavinga meant. Because if President Hakainde Hichilema meant it, he would have traveled to South Africa, even though he claims that since ECL died, I have never traveled. According to him, he's mourning, even though he closed the mourning on 19th June. As we have continued to mourn, we have put projects on hold because until our leader, the former president, receives justice, that is when we can say, now we can move on. And they were all mocking, including Father, Dr. Neversmumba. Yes, this is a good decision. We cannot mourn indefinitely. Then they went to beg for the body. And then, injunction. Neversmumba even stopped posting on Facebook, Insonia Chan. Even if MMD endorses UPND, you're not going anywhere. In Zambia, there's a history. When a party messes up in government, that party closes indefinitely. And I can assure you that UPND, after 2026, will close indefinitely. We cannot have a government that does not allow Vanessa to speak. If somebody is speaking, last time, you call me lunatic. Yes, because that's what your leader sends you people to do. President Hakainde Hichilema refused to recognize Edgar Chagwa Lungu as a president when he was alive. There's interviews. He would make so many statements. When you come on social media, they are there. Videos are there. Nobody arrested him for inciting violence, for telling the young people you should also have mapanga. Nobody. They asked him a question on a radio interview. You mean panga for panga? He said yes. Today, he wants to capitalize on Binwo's statement and have him arrested. And he does these things clean. He sends people to do the dirty work. You are now using police officers. I can't wait for Parliament to close. He's bringing bill after bill so that Parliament should close later in August. Please, according to the Zambian Constitution, March 2026, Parliament closes. No police is on your side. No soldiers are on your side. And they work for the Zambian people. So the rigging that you're planning, trust me, 85% of the government is not on Hakainde Hichilema's side. Be it soldiers, be it police, everybody. They are scared of this man who has become so powerful and intimidates people. If you speak, it's called cyber. If you speak, they threaten you. Tutu Angulube was giving his checks and balances. He died. Dandy Craze used to sing songs for the Patriotic Front. He died. Madam Edith Nawakwi was complaining about so many things about HH. She died. Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu came to cry on the internet, and I said, I've never seen these videos, I'm just seeing them now. It's because they tampered with social media. Anyone who posts anything about ECL, your page is brought down. I didn't know this till I started speaking about this man. And that's why I decided to distance myself. So Dora and Nyambe's village school were brought to State House to clean the image of the president. Even in the United Kingdom, we've had leaders who've made mistakes. Tony Blair making a mistake and came to apologize. Even when he's no longer a leader, say, I'm sorry. Muhammadu Buhari apologized to Nigeria and said, if I did anything wrong, I'm sorry. President Hakainde Hichilema has refused to apologize to the Zambian people. He has refused to apologize to Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu, and these are the videos I stated from the beginning. to say he needs to apologize to ECL's family. You lose nothing to be humble. But he decided to use the law by force. Now that audio exposes the level of corruption by Chavinga and his boss, and Friday, and Doreen Mwamba, discussing what the UPND have done. How sure are we that the judges in Zambia, they're not being corrupted? And Chavinga is not a Patriotic Front member. He is a UPND surrogate. The person running the Patriotic Front is HH. He gave Chavinga the certificate within hours. Despite a court ruling, they have ignored. But they are waiting for the burial of ECL. And all these delay tactics is so that ECL should even be buried next year, so that they should win. 2026, Omofulo, Pamofulo. We are going to vote for anything but HH. Anybody. Don't even say, no, I would have sank. Anything that is forward, don't vote. Vote for anything but HH. The alliance will come together and they will choose a leader. And that's the person we will all support and vote in 2026. Do you know why they're not exposing the leader? Because right now, if anybody speaks, they go to jail. They are giving them cases. They are giving... In March, when President Hichilema will no longer have the power, there's no government. That's when now you will know that this is the president. And the person I will endorse on this page will be the president of Zambia. It will be a very big mistake for you to choose HH. You will suffer. You will suffer. You cannot accept this injustice. Imagine being silent for another 5 years. Haven't you suffered enough for 4 years? Does this man care? 100 people die in Mfumbwe. Jack Mwembo even comes to justify that in the UPND government, they unalive people for a reason. Who says that? And then we have Madam Nalumango, who makes careless statements. Is that the person you want to make as vice president again? For what? If President Hakainde Hichilema cannot even get along with Gary Nkombo, do you know who Gary Nkombo is? The other day, President Hakainde Hichilema made a statement trying to make Gary Nkombo like he's a bad person who's not listening to me. No, it's not. It's you, sir, who doesn't listen to anybody. You don't listen to any advice. That's why your government is chipante-pante. You are your own advisor. And people like Jito are the ones to advise you. Kids, babies. You can't run a government with young babies. You go for people who are senior like Brigadier General Mianda. Bring them close. How do we run government? You are working with a baby. Where did Jito work in government before? You work with people who have worked in government before, who understand how government runs. For that audio to leak, it clearly shows that even the state, the government itself, the one that continues to run even when you're no longer president, doesn't even know that you're doing these things. You're doing this on your own. So Bakabesha is also being used. He doesn't even know. Him is busy. Oh, let me write them. Please. If this man is a lawyer, Laz, deregister that man after 2026. Same as a speaker. You cannot have cadres being speakers. You cannot have Maria Zalome's mother, Mwangala Zalomes, as a cadre as she is, to be an ECZ chair, to shakwa. You have messed up our country, our judicial system. And it is clear, because Chavinga has mentioned these things in that 20-minute audio. Guys, life is spiritual. God is amazing, because God exposes the plans of the wicked. We have Freemasons who are free to move around in Zambia. And when we try to ask about these things, Madam Nalumango said something vaguely. Madam Nalumango, you have disappointed womanhood. You have disappointed the Christian fraternity. You have never stood your ground to speak for the Zambian people. So right now, Madam Nalumango said it's speculations between two people. You know, we cannot assume That is Ojo. That's how she speaks. No empathy. You are a wicked regime. And the Zambian people are not blind. Any normal Zambian cannot vote for UPND. No matter what you try. And right now, they think it's Binwa will go for the young people. First, Binwa has a seditious. First, it was treason. When they tried to charge Binwa with treason, the American ambassador called Hakainde Hichilema. If you think I'm lying, ask. If you put a treason on this guy, will involve Washington, Trump. That's how come they reduce it to seditious. All the opposition leaders, each and every person has a case, except for KBF. You dare play with KBF. Eh? And then, Brian Muntubile is a direct relative to Madame Nalumango. You have seen her leadership. You should read between the lines. For me, I will tell you, Zambia needs a lawyer, not a businessman. When Mwanawasa was president, see how Zambia, up to today, everywhere you go, people talk about Mwanawasa. You have a businessman, he's come to make himself rich, richer, richest. Whilst you're a Zambian, you are poor. You remain poor, poorest. I will not tolerate anybody that will come and put injustice on my Zambian people that fought for independence. Our forefathers fought for independence in 1964. You come and you want to take over Zambia and make Zambians, they cannot speak. Exactly what Dr. Kenneth Kaunda predicted, and he said, I fear that man. We will protect the vote. By 14 hours, HH will lose. Dudumwazi, you can vote for him however you like. We have Copper Belt. We have Northern Province. We have Lusaka. Nobody in Lusaka can vote for HH, apart from those people who go to his secretariat and the PS. The people who are working. Zambians will claim back their victory. Will claim back their peace. We had hope in President Hakainde Hichilema to even bring unity between himself and Dr. Edgar Chagwalungu. Zambia has no former president. How? How do we live like this without a former president? Is it normal? So you want to rule the country for another 5 years without a former president? Which means you will never have an advisor. At least if even Keke was there. No former president. You want to continue governing the country. This country that you are running like it's your own house, it's your farm, will not allow you. And whatever you come, you insult me, it's okay. Zambia is for Zambian people. Zambia is not for Hichilema. And Hichilema must respect the constitution and respect the decision of the Zambian people. You have not shown any empathy. You are not sympathetic to the Zambian people. You quite know about the jobs. The question is, are those people being paid? Civil servants are complaining. Go to Lusaka City Council. Who heads the place? It's all people from his tribe, region. For the first time in Zambia, we have to think about tribe because Hakainde Hichilema brought tribalism. Today, Kambwili is in jail for statements he was made to utter. And there's a confession by Cornelius Muta. These are the people you want to work with. My people, you will die of hunger. They now even want to touch on your land. Every day, since this government has been in power, they have brought more than 13 bills. They want Bill 7. Do you know what Bill 7 means? HH wants to be a president for another 7 years. You, Mukapeka Lapazambe, 7 years president, HH. And then on top of that, he can appoint and fire MPs. So if, for example, Bino Mpundu is a honorable member of parliament of where he is, President Hakainde Hichilema says, I don't like him. He can fire him and put his own. Is that Zambian constitution? Something that our forefathers sat down. Bena, Simon Masakapo, Harimonga Mkumbu, Keke, all those people, olden days. And then Chiluba also added some spices there. then you want to come and change. Right now, Zambia is in 1964. Yeah, we're in 1964. You cannot speak. You are living in poverty. There's no electricity. And you're supposed to be saying yes, 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 yes. So that's the issue on Dora. And no matter what, you come and complain and about what I'm saying, it's up to you. At the end of the day, it's you that will suffer, not me. All my children are in the United Kingdom, enjoying the benefits of democracy, enjoying the benefits of being born a British citizen. The government makes sure they go to school for free. Even my son was born in Zambia. The government ensures he goes to a school for free. Good schools, not chipante-pante schools. You're sitting on the floor. The toilets, the ablution block is smelling. There's no proper... proper. They give them books. They don't buy books. They don't buy pens. Everything free. The government gives them. If you are struggling as a family, the government gives your child lunch at school. If you need to pay, like some of us pay, it's £2.50 per day lunch. You pay. And the same council tax that we contribute, they help to put roads there. The council tax is not for someone to make themselves rich. When you even go to the toll gates, those toll gates were helping for money to be in circulation in Zambia. They have given a contract to somebody for, is it 25 years? If you go and check who is a shareholder, you will see that they are shareholders, this same government. ECZ has given a contract to a small boy with a criminal record. Yes. To be the one to run the biometrics. This person has never had any company. Somebody from Mauritius. When you trace, you find that they are shareholders. They are stealing every day. The fake report is out. More than $3.5 billion missing. And these are the people you want to bring. Your medication, ARVs. I will say ARVs because that's what is important. There's no way you can tell me that in Zambia we're not affected. At least we have even one relative somewhere who is on ARVs. They have tempered on the ARVs. They are now tempering on your land. That's why when Michael Gonzalez stated that, hey, church, you have failed to run, he faces him like this. Then he was quiet. Michael Gonzalez exposed cyber law. He stated to the Americans, telling them, please, do not do this and this, the cyber. That's when we knew. They enacted the bill without the Zambian people. And LAS Association of Zambia has taken that to court. HH would stand on podiums. He would speak about how today he's doing the same thing. Tell people fertilizer will be so much. Where? Telling people how they'll be giving people this and that. Where? Mining licenses for the use. Where? 100 have died. So, this Dora Moono Nyambe thing is just to use these innocent children. They don't know now. They'll be happy that they're seeing a president. It's okay. It's a gesture. But it's a wrong timing. And using young children who are innocent is very wicked. When Michael Jackson was using young children to come to his park, what revelations came out after? So many. So many things came out. And people couldn't believe it's Michael. Some of it, Michael. You know what? There's a young man on social media, Prince. He always says this. Politics is not a love affair. You are not in bed with the politicians. So when they fail, you kick them out. Don't be emotionally attached. Wow, yeah. That's why I will call a spade a spade. I will love you as an individual. President Hakainde Hichilema, I love him. But when he's making mistakes, I don't beat about the bush. I will say A is A, B is B. And that's why someone like him needed people like us to be near him. That can tell him the grassroots. What people are complaining. President Hakainde Hichilema is the soul of Zambia, not the David. As Zambians, we made a mistake. because he has failed to apologize to ECL's family. He has failed to put an inquiry on Dora and Moono Nyambe, but he's there busy donating. The post-mortem is questionable. He has failed to even apologize to the family of Mufumbwe. What is wrong with the president saying, I understand that the young people want to mine, but please, can we do it in the right way? I am sorry for those who lost their loved ones. I am making an appeal. If you can identify that you've lost your loved one, come to the social center. I will personally come and meet you as the president of Zambia and show you people that we didn't mean to harm anybody. We are sorry. And even cry. Cry, president. Pretend. You can't even pretend to cry. Whatever a person are you, you can't even pretend to cry. Eddie Alungu has died, you can't even pretend, cry. My brother, you can't. We can't be mourning indefinitely. No. That's not how it works. You have to show empathy. Even slow down. Can we say a moment of silence? Can we have a moment of silence for the young people? You keep quiet. Say, please, as family, we are sorry. I'm sorry, my brother. He stood on a wall. We have lost the president. Like this. If Jito Kayumba is your advisor, how do you expect to behave? Can you do things as a patriotic Zambian, as a leader? No. That's why I'm not shocked that someone like Chawinga will be the person you're working with. And UPND, stop comforting yourselves. They're even using those riffraffs, social media riffraffs, to say they should class me as loony. It's you who is lunatic. Because when HH loses power next year, I, Lil and Mutambo, will be speaking for him, and you'll be on the side of the current government at that time. Because I hate injustice. President Hakainde Hichilema has immunity. Okay? So everybody who is committing a crime now, you will not have immunity. That's if the immunity will stay. Because the immunity might be removed. You alone, your friends' wives, they are in prison. Kampiongo's wife is in prison. Who has ever touched Mama Mutinda? Imagine President Hakainde Hichilema, you're no longer a president, and they come and catch your wife as process of... Honestly, you're very wicked. Very, very wicked. You can't be a president. You can't. How do you start taking the wives of the former president of Zambia to go and sleep in a cell? To fiakwa. Wicked. Oh, Lord, shock. Hey, shame. And all of you are watching this process of crime. Do you know the implications? Life is very spiritual. And you expect Mama Esther, she's being difficult. The family is being... Anyway, somebody will put you to prison. They know that if Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu comes to Zambia, President Hakainde Hichilema will take over the body and hijack the body. That's why they have refused. And in Chimunya, we know by your name you support rubbish. Get out of my page. Get out. It's only a region that will vote for HH. The whole Zambia will not vote for HH. How can you be surrounded by people like Nyambe Muma, like somebody's commenting here, and you expect you to be what? Nyambe Muma, where he is at his age, he has no property in his name. So people like him, they'll advocate that the bill 13 should go through, so that they should start collecting properties of people. Him, UPND cadres, MPs, come against that bill. Because that bill will be used against all of you. They'll collect all your Tuma properties and will use it as process of crimes we'll enjoy as Zambian people. We'll give it to the poor. You privatize Zambia. You are now privatizing Zambian property now. No. This is unacceptable. Somebody will say Tongas are what? Please, Tonga people are very good people. And President Hakainde Hichilema is Ila. He's using the Tonga people. But Tonga, my friends, Kamwamba Basa, open your eyes. This man is using you people. Shine your eyes well. My best friend is Mutinda. My other best friend is Hamanyati. My other best friend is Hamaram. My other best friend as well, Hamwanza. These are my close friends. I've never had to pay attention about tribalism. Of course, I'm sweating because there's a light here. This light makes you sweat. It's heat. So shut up. Listen to my message. Your president has failed. That's why some of us, we have washed our hands. We cannot be part of such type of leadership which has no empathy. Today, Malumango, you even go to church, your church, and you are a pastor's wife. Ha! Your members are in trouble. Pastor's wife is no heart. Just know that what is good for the goose is good for the gander. I like that parable. The people who are surrounding you, who are saying good things, are feeding their salary. But in 2026, you will know who was truly your friend. If people can betray Edgar Chagwalungu, people like Chawinga, who were Chola boys. Chawinga was a Chola boy of ECL. Chawinga used to travel to South Africa to check on trucks and everything. He was actually even involved in some issues previously with your Socialist Party Fred members' trucks. Okay? That's why he feels he knows South Africa. He doesn't know South Africa. He's just a Chola boy. Imagine Chawinga. This is when I'm knowing that Chawinga is the one who warned the ambassadors of Zambia. You ambassadors. Anyway, since when did the Chawinga become so powerful? If Chawinga will last next year, 2026, I doubt he will last. I doubt. Because I can see him finishing. I can see him finishing. He doesn't even look healthy at all. That one is walking dead. I'm telling you. You cannot disclose such type of secrets and you think you'll be alive. Iwe, there's a Russian spy, Arifwa, here in UK. They followed him. He knew secrets of Russia. Chawinga, you know secrets and you are wata. Okay. I'll be very shocked if you reach next year, 2026, August. In fact, it will be a miracle. You should pray to the God that you worship. If you reach 2026 next year, I doubt. There's too much dirt that has been exposed. The audio is in the courts in South Africa. And Wakavesha, you have not even made a statement over the audio. They try to call it AI. They try to say it's Chawinga. It's Doreen Mwamba who was recording Chawinga. And they were in agreement of the conversation and the plans towards corrupting judges in South Africa. This is not news or a surprise to me because even a family member of ECO was given 5 million kwacha allegedly. In Zambia now you have to use allegedly even though you know the truth. 5 million kwacha. And that 5 million kwacha was to corrupt them so that they should bring them. When the family agreed, realized, I should have respect for women. Does Madame Lalmango respect herself in parliament? I'm speaking what's there. Does President Hakainde Hichilema respect women? Hasn't he put Kampiongo's wife in prison? The other MP for using, according to them, tribal remarks, is in prison. She recently got a bill. Oh, by the way, even Faith Musonda went to his house. How did Faith Musonda find herself at the president's property? Private property. This is the first time we're having a president who lives in his house. You are going to have this president continuously, even in 2026, to live in his house. Baka mibile chalo mukasamba Zambia waristisha. Mukasanga Zambia waristisha, you will now be paying rent to stay in your property. Oh, continue. Akutoteni. Home economist as president. Akutoteni. When you are complaining to Kalami Lolesha, me I'll be in Dubai enjoying my life. And I'll tell you, Mwasalida Mweka. Mwae mwena mwebene. Chivote vote. Mwae mwena mwebene. Mwae mwena mwebene. Chivote vote. Mwae mwena mwebene. Ay! Hakainde. Dr. Edgar Chagwalungu had his flaws, but your government, no. People have no freedom. People now have to think of, if Clara is coming, let me see. Hey, this tribe, there's no. You can't divide Ichalo Chesicha Zambia. So my conclusion is that each time there's an issue, a very serious issue, President Hakainde Hichilema has a way of trying to cover his face. He's using these young people of Mapapa village to look good, that he's offering help to Dora and Moono Nyambe school. But the question is, when she was alive, did he help? No. When Dr. Edgar Chagwa was alive, President Hakainde Hichilema's government removed him from a plane. And the very government also fired the person that allowed Dr. Edgar Chagwa to leave Zambia. When Dr. Edgar Chagwa left Zambia in January, February, it was because the UN Special Rapporteur, Irene Khan, was in Zambia to investigate the human rights injustices. And the report is there on a Human Rights Commission page. And it states how the government of Zambia presently has deprived Zambians of their rights to speak. When President Hakainde Hichilema was inaugurated as the president of Zambia, he didn't invite Museveni, but he invited Bobi Wine. Bobi Wine was not allowed to travel to Zambia. Museveni would never travel because he was friends with ECL. ECL told him what he was going through. And President Hakainde Hichilema has no friends in the SADC region. Mnangagwa definitely not his friend. He tried to make friends with the Namibian president, the female. I don't think it will work because she's a Pan-Africanist. He's also tried to make friends with some. He doesn't have friends. But ECL was friends with Mnangagwa, friends with Museveni, friends with Kagame. Even right now, as the economy of Zambia is sinking, because the president feels he's an economist. He has never worked as a minister, a councillor, an MP, nothing, straight to presidency. Eventually, I was a trade union's leader. He even understands how to lead people. Okay? He now goes straight to presidency. He can't even consult Dambisa Moyo, a woman who is being consulted by Rwanda. You have ignored Dambisa, a woman who is recognized by the UK government as a top economist in the world, a Zambian. Why? President Hakainde Hichilema does not like to work with women. Check. Today, you will see him with the Chipona Manawasa. Those are baby. What do they know? Those ones are just following. Let's go here, they follow. Jito, what do they know? They'll just be following about. You are actually the one instructing them what to do. But somebody like Dambisa, who has helped the economy of Rwanda, you mean you can't call her and say, Dambisa, come. How much do we need to pay you? This is a worldwide. She appears in the Times magazine in UK. Was rewarded by the Queen of England as a dam. You know when you add sir, sir, when they call you a sir, now woman, they call them dam. You are highly recognized by the government. You cannot call that person a Zambian to come to Zambia and help the economy. You are an economist. You run the nation. If you are unadvisable, then you can't be a president. A president should be unadvisable. It should be advisable, should work with the people who know the system. But because you know everything, the story of Amatipa Bwaria actually exposes who HH is. A lady called in to cry about how she was treated by HH when she had a funeral of her father. HH when he was what do you call these people who liquidate properties and things? He locked up a funeral home. You know, this man is rich. You mean they cannot remove 2,000 and say, when you bury, you come and sort it out. Give me the money by 16 hours, 17 hours. I'm waiting. You're wasting time. That's why he can't say sorry. That's why he cannot say sorry to Edgar Chagwalungu's family. He wants to look good all the time. You cannot be a person like that in leadership. I'm a leader. I remember Dr. Chiluba. He said, yeah, Zambians, we thought it was easy. He said it. You have to be real. We are doing this. How many Kwenyus? In fact, if I was not part of this government, I would have wished to be part of this government. In Zambia, if you brag, you are gone, gonest. Forget about those people who are eating from your pocket. No, he's winning. Where? When we say that our father will not welelapo, did he welelapo? Be careful. The one that is even annoying, Bali till 2090. Uko in your house. Which 2090? For 2031. Maybe 20. Zambians, this 2026. Please, let me say this in Bemba. Mwebe nakala chalo Zambia. Mwebe kala chalo Zambians. Inediden mutambo ndemirumba. Mu 2026 tulevotera pension konono versus HH. Meaning uli wonse obaka tupela u intungulushi. Eo tukasale. HH afirale ya. Ukucheme ngombe kumafamu. Nafiru okuteke chalo cha Zambia. HH na leta kapatulu la muchalo cha Zambia. HH ta kwa toluse. Abi pisho mutima. Aba nankwe ari bakomena mu kifungo bena bomma na bena chitotela bena cha ngala abe ngina mu beshu ba mashina bambita tu abesho no kubesho ari bakakira pantu bale sapota balungu chiriye chikongo chifukusho cha kwata pantu bali mukakire po echo aleleta pa bantu bonse abale bomma na balungu. But HH tali president ari fe political position. Hello, opposition never chaba kula wokutintana. But HHR kene ukusumina ati balungu na president alebeta ati Mr. Ari kene ukubeta ati His Excellency alebeta ati Mr. Nobody diaba kateka. Alefo abantu bale mulumba isha fyonse fye ati nikateka. Mwebe na Zambia. Tualipangile mistake. Isentu weluke kuchinso cha kwalesa tulombe obwelele. Tupepele chalo cha Zambia chiwelele po chari. HH na lufya ichalo chesu. Akapa atulule mokadi. Muma offices abika fya imitundu shakwe bale bomba mu. Noma nishini president wa shani ulefo kuteke chalo na akapa atulula. Nga mwalolisha ku Southern Province mwewe kalachalo cha Zambia. Kwa liba malaiti kwena 24 hours. Batu mulusaka mule chula. Apa nomba balefo kuikata na kuli landi. Tubatupoke ama landi Yesu. Registrar akwate amaka. Baleba kalembesha ba taito. Ya nganda. Ya landi nga mwashita. Balefo ya. Bale poka apa riponsi nga babu ka fietu bale foku mipoka ba mipoka kwena nishibute ko bwa shanubu mwishefu tuwalaenda. Please tell your grandparents mukasende fitenge but mwikaba votela mwema Zambian mwachula bali katana kumitama ya ravi ba American ambassador bari rande fintu fing bari sokololo enkama no kulani bale masiuve masebo bale ibe miti bali filo kumipera bale mbiya bati kashiteni panado but nishwa government baku America bari tupere ndalama ne miti kuti tule kwate miti bari fumya kona 50 million pantu bamona chachi na bale afu abantu abashire yafwa lesa ngabi kapwentungulu shintungulu shishira shifire shire afurisha abene kala chalo nombe ishintungulu sheshe kwete na shikwato okuite mwani bakaite mwe balefu afebeka bale lyafye mwe na Zambia ule chula mwebe na Zambia inenelile mutambo nami papata. I am begging you, don't vote for UPNT. Open your eyes. Shine your eyes well. This government is evil. And regardless of what anyone tries to convince you, they will never change. Umuntu ualenga taba nanko babidi bafwe. Bantu tabakwete emiti. Imagine my Edith Nawakwi had to go to prison. She said she needs access to a medication for 3 days. She was not allowed. How wicked can you be? And we're supposed to clap for you that you are doing well. No, you are not. You have failed to reconcile with the Zambian people. Each punecho tuaba pere bakateka wa HH was not for him to revenge, but for him to unite the Zambian people. Elo ni ntemwa efyo ba chitide ba mpezeni. Ni ba pezeni? Kumutomboko. Bali kanyare galia good, sir. Pantu ichiweresh kuma tradition tatule fwa. There was no regalia there. Pantu ngabali ya nefia red. Fire kasabana fie place kwati for the monica. You saw how the ceremony was nice. People were just dressed in nice clothes. Please, and you saw the prince, very handsome. Hey, Prince, I have 4 daughters. Oh, pick one. What am I trying to say? Umutima waba HH wako sesha to be a president. President afire akwata koruse. President umwen wa Africa afire akwata ubuntu spirit. Uwa kulolesha pabe na Zambia. But President Hakainde Hichilema has failed to do so. And regardless of what you guys say, those of you who support HH, I will never stop standing on my ground. I did the same during the Patriotic Front. I spoke. And that's why they lost power. When it comes to social media, don't underestimate the grace some of us carry. We influence people to vote for HH because he's shown, he showed up as an option. Let's give someone a chance who has failed 5 times. But God has shown us why he was denying him a chance. He's not a good president. We have only 10 months to remove UPND from power. No matter the plans they will have, God will remove him. Don't be scared. Go in numbers and vote for Hakainde Hichilema out. On the ballot paper, ignore his picture. They will try all sorts of antics, but the Zambian people will decide. It will not be an easy journey, but he must leave power in 2026. Because if he doesn't, Bill 7 will go through, and when Bill 7 goes through, he will stay for 7 years. And seeing how desperate he is for minerals and power, he will stay for 20 years in power. It's up to you. Some of us will be enjoying our holidays, will never even come to Zambia. It's okay. Some of us have sacrificed to speak on behalf of the Zambian people, knowing that we're not going to come to Zambia. So you should remove HH from power. You should listen to the advice we are giving you. We are saying things you cannot speak. Send a message that UPND must go in 2026. Delhi Hamapa, by your name, we know. I don't need to ask for a job from HH. If HH really recognized my efforts, he would have given me a job in 2021. He is a very ungrateful person. That's why I decided to walk away and to step out. I officially resigned on media, and I've saved the video on YouTube. I will post the video again because Facebook deletes live streams after 30 days. I'll repost it for the records, because you need to understand that I cannot look at injustice and bad-heartedness using young children to look good and I'll be clapping. No, this is unacceptable. Guys, I gotta go. I had to come early because we have a barbecue today where we're going to, and church barbecue will be there till like 6, 7 o'clock. So I said, let me speak to my Zambian people and just know that I'm with you. I'm praying with you, and we have to stand firm together. Remember, as you go to church to pray, pray for Zambia. Zambia needs liberation. We need to remove UPND from power. Okay? It's not about bitterness. I am speaking what's there. Somebody said, when you get arrested, why should I get arrested? For speaking? You cannot bring fear in me for speaking. I am a British citizen in this country. I speak when I'm not happy about anything. We have what you call the Citizen Advice Bureau to complain to, and they act based on my complaints. We have a complaints procedure in this country. If you are happy about a job or anything, and they act according. But in Zambia, the judges, kudia. Chabinga has told us, kudia. So, is there justice there? No. So, as long as there is injustice, I will speak about these things. It is you who is bitter, not me. And no matter how you speak, whether you like it or not, UPND will not form government next year. They will close even the secretariat. UPND will close. It will be dead. Deadest. There is no church member, pastor, that will vote for UPND. Never. They've even planted shushushus in church to hear what they are saying. You have no people, no grassroots, nothing. The chairman that was fixing Injinga those days is still fixing Injinga this time. And you think people will vote. They'll say, look, our chairman. My chairman wakadikufutika bali munjala. And you expect people to vote for you. Forget. Anyway, guys, we know that God has the final say in our country, Zambia. In countries like Uganda, where they even have Museveni, there's even peace there. Us, we're president of how many years? 4 years. You want to torment every Zambia. Torment every Zambia. Anyway, guys, take care. See you on my next video. This is Hichilema'S TV, where we stand for the truth and justice. We don't beat about the bush. And I'm saying President Hakainde Hichilema wants to look good. That's why he's donated this bus to the young people at the wrong time. We're in the midst of the court case. An audio that has leaked. And we have loads of allegations that have been stated. And he has ignored them and wants to look good. We have 100 people who passed away in Mfumbwe. His media says 2 people because they want to look good. Again, he needs to look good. That's all he cares about, his image. Now God has exposed who he is, and we can now judge between who was a good leader between ECL and HH. Of course, ECL was a better leader. So go, little